Sickle cell disease is largely an invisible global health issue, especially in regions of high incidence, mainly to lack of awareness among both the local health policymakers and the public. Nigeria is said to be responsible for about half of the estimated 300,000 newborns with sickle cell disorder annually, while in Yobe State it has a recent prevalence rate of 32.6%, the highest in the country. The story is better explained by its survivors.
There are so many stigma. You cannot even go to your relative house or a friend house to spend the night because they were thinking in the night you may disturb them with a cry, shout and others because of the pain you are passing through.
I will not advise any female carrier to marry a sickle cell carrier husband. By the time you give birth to a child that has the disease, that's the beginning of your suffering. You will both hate each other. To this Islamic cleric and the Sickle Cell Disease Eradication Initiative in the state, legislating the compulsory genotype testing for intending couples will mitigate the prevalence.
It is very, very important to include the genotype test because that legislation would go a long way in eradicating the sickle cell disease because it is a hereditary disease. It's not a communicable disease.
We should do genotype test first before marriage because without doing the genotype, if we will involve ourselves into the problem, into the trouble, and then we end up having increased rise in the prevalence of the sickle cell disease.
But the state government explains it has mapped out strategies to collaborate with development partners to end the disease.
By the time they see the practical achievement in terms of patients who are treated, then they will always bring their patients to the hospital. So government will do its best to raise awareness so that people will understand the disease. It's not a disease that you can say it's no more a skill set, but at least somebody can lead in court near normal life if it's adequately treated.
No doubt, more awareness must be undertaken, especially in rural areas where they do not believe the disease exists if it is to be eradicated in Yobe State.